tell us why you are running and what skill sets you bring, and then I will ask 3 questions.
Good evening. So I was appointed a little over a year and a half ago. That's in 2017. I hit the ground running. It had a huge learning curve. My background was, at the time, I was a volunteer with PTA, so I'm able to know exactly what it means to be a selfless volunteer. It's also meaning to be a servant leader. You sit there and have to help a lot of people. And a lot of times people think that they have the right to be disrespectful and ugly, and that's when you sit there and say, no, I'm a human being and you have no right to treat me this way. I have 4 kids. My 2 oldest ones have gone through high school at Coronado. I have a little girl right now in the middle school, in a great magnet school, that's serving our leaders, because women, we shall overcome. And I have a little one at home that hopefully next year will be going into pre-K. And I think I'm very good at being able to adapt and provide all the time and energy that this needs, because it is a full-time job. Thank you.
The first question is this. We all know about official policy stances versus the nod and wink that superintendents and/or trustees give about contentious policy issues. You all at previous sessions have been asked about charter schools and transformation zones. Do you support them or not, and why? But we need to know where you stand a little bit beyond this, beyond the yes-no question, to ask about EPISD's District of Innovation designation. The designation undermines protections around which people have worked over decades, such as the larger student-teacher ratios, non-certified teachers, lower pay, etc. Do you support renewal of this designation? Why or why not? So a 2-part question, charter schools and the designation. You have 3 minutes.
So the support as far as charter schools, I think that's been a big issue with us lately. That's something that is just happening, not only just here in El Paso, but it's happening in all of the larger cities here that we're having to see. I think the best thing we can do is just show that we as a district provide a better education, better choice for our students. And we need to see that at the same time, what we want is better student outcomes for everybody, bar none. I think in that, we at times have had to learn off of each other. We learn from charters, charters learn from us. One of the things I think we've learned from charters is the greatest thing as far as their graduation rate is at 99%, where as a school district we are at 58 to 74%, depending on that high school. And we want to make sure that our students are trade ready, military ready, college ready, world ready once we leave our high schools. And that's one of the things that we can learn off of each other. As far as our District of Innovation, I think it helps mold us that we want superior teachers. And if we want superior teachers, that superior teacher is going to teach your child how to become a better student above all. I think a lot of times there's just that misunderstanding as far as that District of Innovation. I think to kind of parallel it with the business world, if you're an employee and you're not performing the way you should be performing, you are let go. If our teachers aren't performing the way that they should be performing, they are given resources to help engage them, help engage our students. And then if that's not what's happening, they are definitely, they're definitely told you need to be a better teacher. Some teachers strive to be better, others don't. Sometimes all of us get stuck in a position and we don't want to move on. We don't want to engage our students. We don't want to know what's better. We like just being where we're at. It's an easy paycheck for some of them. They don't want to move. As far as the teacher ratio, I think all of us grew up where we were 30 children into a class. If you're a great teacher, It doesn't matter how many students you have in your class. If you're a great teacher, you're gonna engage every single student at every level and make sure they're doing great. A smaller ratio might be adjustable to some, and that makes it makes it greater for them to be one-on-one with them. But again, if you're a great teacher, it shouldn't matter how many students are in your class. You're going to engage them all.
Okay, 9 seconds left. Thank you. The second question is this. EPISD faces financial problems due to declining enrollment, charter school inroads, and reckless decisions around salaries. $1,500 a day consultants, superintendents earning the salary nearly equivalent to the U.S. president, etc. School closures face wrath from parents who are sometimes treated like enemies rather than consulted. For example, Bell Elementary School. The state may impose a 2.5% cap on increases with tax ratification elections. How do you propose to deal with EPISD's financial problems? You have 3 minutes.
I think unfortunately what we're seeing is declining enrollment in our schools. It's not strange, or nobody's not heard of. We don't have that student population anymore. We're kind of landlocked where we are. It's more appealing for younger families to go out, go into the outer limits, go into the Socorro district, Canutillo district, Isleta district, and get a nicer, newer house than what they would get in here. So that's our first problem. Our second one is, again, we don't have the kids being born into our district. So that being said, along with the charters coming in, it's kind of hard to sit there and sustain everything that a district we have to take care of. That we have consolidations, we do. A lot of these needed to be done over 20 years ago. They weren't done because those boards just didn't have the gumption, didn't have the foreseeable future to be able to close them. I think as a board, we were able to buckle down and close these schools. Is it a sentimental value among a lot of them? It is. Did we do the thing of going out to the communities? We did. We always made sure everybody was engaged. I think on a daily basis, I get phone calls from constituents from anything that they don't like their principal to, they don't like, that people are not slowing down in their streets, they don't like what's going on in their school. We are always engaged. We are always available to anybody and everybody. It's just part of the economy that's going on right now. We even see local businesses that have been here for 40 years that are having to close because they just can't make ends meet. And that's what's happening right now. It's a huge tax burden on the taxpayers, unfortunately. And that shouldn't be so. If we can reduce our size of buildings, if we can reduce all of those outsourcing, we need to do that just to make sure everybody gets a fair job, fair amount. Our teachers deserve great pay, absolutely. But that's not even something that we dictate locally too much. It depends what the state gives us, and of course, all of us immediately know to give to our teachers. Our teachers are the ones who have sustained our school district for so long. When we didn't have a superintendent, and those were those horrible years, our teachers were still showing up every single day, making sure our teachers and our students were all being taught. They didn't sit there and say, there's no leader right now, we can't do anything. They knew to show up. They are the heart of our entire school district. With the TRE, with the $15 million that we're supposed to be getting each and every single year, last year we decided as a board to give half of that to our employees, not just our teachers, but to every single employee. We've got our budget coming up again, and that's something we're going to work towards, is to make sure that our teachers each get something. Again, not just our teachers, every single of our employees. Thank you.
The last question is a tough one. Over more than a decade, EPISD exhibited dishonesty and corruption, stemming in part from lack of trustee oversight and leading to gubernatorial political appointees in charge of the board. This has been a source of shame and embarrassment for our community. In recent months, and even in recent news, we have heard allegations about residents' issues and evidence of past work experience. My next question is about integrity. Among key words for our elected officials, we want trustworthy, ethical, and accessible people making decisions on our behalf. What claims and behaviors do you bring to this candidacy that could become sources of embarrassment, shame, and/or pride in the future? You have 3 minutes.
Well, I think first and foremost is we have a lot of bad politicians, and there's always a lot of bad politics that try and envelop every single part of every election trying to go on, and that's a shame, because this, as a school board, politics don't belong here. There's only one single job that needs to be done, and that's for the students. It's a shame that there's been a lot of bullying, a lot of misinformation, and a lot of bad tactics just to try and defame one person. I think people who do that have nothing better to do and just think of themselves as just better than anyone else. I pride myself in being able to be accessible within the community. I am always, not only just at my own daughter's school, I'm at schools that I represent. I'm in the community with other projects. So there's never a time that you can't pick up a phone, call me or text me and say, I have a concern. Everybody has a concern and everybody needs to be listened to. And I think that's the one thing. Everybody's point is valid. I don't believe in shaming. Shaming is just a bullying tactic, and that needs to stop. I think bad politics also needs to stop. I think each and every single person who stands here, every single one of us that is on the board right now, and even the people who are trying to be elected, have chosen to stand up, be accountable, and do the right thing. It's a shame, like I said, that so many people want to sit there and tear it down, but that's, I think, a politics as usual kind of tactic. And that's a shame, because so many people say, we need a change. You're absolutely not right. We need a change from dirty politics. Dirty politics doesn't have a place here on this board. I'm very fortunate and very lucky to be on this board. I've had a short time there. I hit the ground running, and I've enjoyed my time there. And whoever you all choose to support, I hope you do so truthfully, knowing the facts that you've heard tonight, and not anything that you've heard by horrible hearsay, horrible news media, horrible social media, because those truly are the death of all of us. True people know how to sit there and ask questions and get the straight answer. Thank you.
You have 1 minute to sum up, if you wish to take it, about why you should be elected.
It's a tough job. It's about standing up in the public and having a bullseye on your back. No matter what is going on great in the school district, no matter what is going on wrong in the school district, people will always hold you accountable. And that's okay. You can sit there and look at my voting record on the school district. I've always supported teachers. I've always supported outside personnel. I think we have great people here. Case in point. We have a great support system here in El Paso. We have great parental engagement with our PTAs. We have people who don't mind going up and talking to you in the middle of a Walmart, asking you, why are you sitting here and doing this? Why are you closing my school? That's okay to ask. I don't mind doing so. I don't like the disrespect. Disrespect and bullying have no place in this, and I will not put up with bullying, and I will not put up with disrespect. I am a human being. I am a mother, and I have children that will go on further, and that's what I'm looking for, to make sure they have a great school system. They go out further ahead into the schools and to the world.
Okay. Thank you very much.